What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everyone doing this evening? See, we've got some early birds in the house. We got Daddy D, Trumpet, Darnell. What's happening, fellas? How y'all doing? My man Andre, how are you doing, buddy? Fire Walker, how are you, bud? Marcus, how you doing, buddy? You've been a little scarce the last few weeks, man. So Darnell, when you get in late, you're able to show up on the chat early. Boy, that's some confusing stuff. You get home late, show up in the chat early. All right, no, that's cool, Marcus. What is he? Football, basketball, baseball? Arizona? Arizona is probably football. Man, Double D, Prairie Fresh or Smithfield for ribs. You need to pick one and stick with it. I will tell you, if I had a choice, man, and I was able to get the Prairie Fresh ribs I used to get from Restaurant Depot, I would go Prairie Fresh. I love Smithfield, but right now, man, they are killing me when I go looking for ribs. We brought home a ton of trophies using Smithfield ribs. But the last 6 months or so, man, they are hard to find uh, in terms of quality for competition. Thank goodness I have not been competing. All right, Marcus, football, man. What position is he playing? We're giving the folks another minute or so, man, to get started, to get into the chat. Marcus, what position is he playing? Oh, it's a good beer, man. Firewalkers, you'll have to go to Restaurant Depot, and for Restaurant Depot, you'll need a membership or uh, have uh, have somebody in your neck of the woods that can take you there and use their membership. There was a time when their ribs used to come uh, 2-pack, and one was always better than the other. Sort of like that Costco 3-pack of ribs, where that middle one is always sketchy. But the last time I went to Restaurant Depot, their ribs were now in a 3-pack, uh, and it just looked like one of them was worthwhile, and the other two were definitely hit or miss. So ribs just have been an all-around chore to find, man, for competition. I have managed to get a stash that I've built up over months, and I hate to call 3 racks of ribs a stash, but uh, that's what it is. All right, we are going on 5 minutes, man. Hey, guys, gals, I want to welcome everybody back to another episode, episode number 67. Today, we're going to be talking about meat glue, transglutaminase. I probably not even pronounced it correctly if I'm not looking at that crazy word. All right, I saw Trumpet earlier says that he's got a little knowledge of the moo glue. and it comes in a number of different brand names. Trumpet says he's got a coworker that uses it all the time. He gets it on Amazon. That's where I found mine as well, Trumpet. He mostly uses it when he stuffs pork loin. It's legit and works really, really good. There's no doubt. I will tell you, man, it might have been 5 years ago. I bought an ounce bag of the Moo glue, and I used it once, and it wasn't for something to eat at home. It was actually to seal up a cut on a comp brisket, and the cut wasn't in a very difficult place. I just wanted to see would it work. I was closer towards the flat, so it didn't affect my competition turning slices. But it worked really well. You know, I usually trim my meats on Thursdays, and then Fridays I'm doing my thing. And when I looked at that brisket that I sealed up, I was impressed at how well that Moo glue worked. But Mama, cleaning out the freezer, because once you open that package, you've got to freeze it. That way, it will stay intact in terms of its gluing abilities. Mama accidentally threw it away, so I bought a fresh bag a couple of months ago, and I have not found a reason just yet to use it uh, until yesterday. Until yesterday, and so that's what tomorrow's video is going to be. I did a steak. I did a steak experiment where went to the store and I bought some meat for beef stew, like a chuck, cut into little pieces for beef stew, and I turned that into a steak. And I am here to tell you that there's something to that meat glue. You know, we've got all kinds of theories in this country. Everybody's got a mind of their own. I am not here, and you'll see in the video tomorrow. I'm not trying to get anybody to use it because this was an experiment. I'm not going to be eating meat glue steaks every other month or something like that. Chances are I may never use that bag that I have, but only time will tell. So, what is Moo glue? What is transglutaminase? Let's see. Daddy Dutch, that's awesome, man. You have access to both Smithfield. Smithfield is sponsored. Well, you can't go wrong by that then. Uh, there shouldn't even be a question. If you can get the quality ones sponsored, man, it's a must. Yeah, it is a must. Yes. Marcus says if you're an SCA member, you get access to Restaurant Depot. Yes, I think a membership does come with access to Restaurant Depot. Just make sure you take a jacket. What's up, Rick? How are you doing, buddy? I read something to that effect, Marcus. Yes, you can cook just money muscle now. Uh, and man, I think that really, really tightens things up, man, because now that everybody's cooking money muscle, your money muscle has got to be especially on point if you're to do well. So you says you've seen two money muscles glued together. When Marcus, when you say glued together, what do you mean? Are they like splitting two money muscles glued together? I don't understand how you could use that in a comp. Yeah, hard to figure out what the how that would work. Are they just laying on top of each other? Is the gluing the two of them together an attempt to make them uh, wider in terms of circumference? Yeah, I don't know what benefit that would give. My man Charles, how are you doing? Listen to Charles right here. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you this evening. Yeah, as soon as I said it, I was like, "Oh, here we go." But that's what the Moo glue weighs, and it's pretty pricey. It's pretty pricey, but a little goes a long way. It doesn't require a whole lot. Folks, are you in here, man? Sit back, chill out, relax, hit that thumbs up. We're in for a nice little ride. People are still coming in. Brian, how are you doing, buddy? Folks, Brian was in town this week, man, and wow, Mama and Papa were busy. Uh, this is Mama's birthday week. We got some things planned. We're planning some things, so we got caught up, Brian. Man, I hated that I missed you, man. But I hope you and the wife really, really had a great time here in our the awesome city of San Antonio. Steven, how you doing, buddy? Great seeing you today. Hey, that video today, yesterday, Steven, was pretty nice, man. That's good stuff. Double D, he cooked pork steaks. He cooked pork steaks. Well, it does come from a pork butt. Yeah, it does come from a pork butt. So I don't see why not. You just got to have enough pieces for those judges. Big D's, Delaware, how are you doing, buddy? I will tell you, Big D's, right now, man, especially in Texas, it's money muscle. It is money muscle. Uh, whenever I do the comps that require pork, but uh, well, since CBA has come into effect, yes, I do use the bacon. I do use the bacon, but man, there are a lot of cooks that are just turning in money muscle. These guys are just buying pork butts, chopping off that money muscle, and they're cooking three, four money muscles. You've got some butcher shop, not butcher shops. You've got some meat markets that cater to these guys, and they sell just money muscle. So that is where it's at right now. I've got some ideas. I want to do a some sort of money muscle and not competition related, but just a money muscle video. I don't know what it might be. Maybe I'll jerk some money muscle, and Darnell, watch your mouth. So maybe I'll jerk some money muscles, uh, or treat them like a pork chop on the grill, or something to that effect. We all understand how fatty and how marbled and how tender a money muscle is. I would love to see it cooked in some ways other than barbecue, and I've never done that. So I can see a video of that nature coming up in the next couple of months or so. I'll be sure to put that on the calendar. Let's see what else we got. All right, okay, you're talking about circumference. Wow, they're turning in some massive medallions then. Yeah, they're turning in some massive medallions. Lance, how you doing, buddy? Sleepers in the house. All right, so folks, we're talking about meat glue. So meat glue is an enzyme that comes from the plasma. It's a blood product. It comes from the plasma of cows and or pigs. It's something that is within us. Our body is created. Uh, I'm not sure what we use it for, but a lot of folks don't know that many of the things that they buy and eat, it comes with this meat glue in it. So it serves it serves multiple purposes. It's in yogurt. It's in I believe cottage cheese. Uh, it's in some of those processed hams. They liquefy this meat. They add the meat glue, causes it to coagulate, and then it's shaped. So it's FDA approved. Science says it's safe. But again, man, I know I'm one of those, like a lot of you. If I can get by without something in my body, something different in my body, then I definitely will. So I am not going to be adding it to anything that I do here at the house. But man, it serves an awesome purpose. Be sure to check out the video tomorrow. I did an experiment uh, using some beef stew meat, turn it into a steak and cooking it, and I was absolutely blown away by the results. So this meat glue is FDA approved, like I said. So it is legal. You will find it being the meats that are put together, that are formed with meat glue. You will find them in meat markets. You'll find them in grocery store, supermarkets. The thing behind that is that they must be labeled, and I think the term was reformed meat or foreign meat, but something to that effect. It has to be on the label. So it's telling you that, yes, this meat was put back together for whatever reason, whether they're using trimmings or whether they cut the fat or the sinew out, then put the two pieces of meat back together. So there could be a variety of reasons why they're doing it. But if it's in a meat market, if it's in a supermarket, it has to be labeled as such. Now, that is very much unlike a restaurant. There's some restaurants that are doing it, using it. We know when you're in a business of meats, whether you're selling meats, whether you're cooking meats, we know it's expensive. So all those trimmings, man, just cannot go to waste. You've got to find a way to turn those trimmings into money. So all those trimmings, even in restaurants, and some of these cooks in the restaurants, from what I was reading, man, have gotten so proficient, so good at meat gluing that it is almost impossible to tell. It is almost impossible to tell. And unlike a grocery store, a restaurant does not have to tell you. A restaurant does not have to put it on the menu the way a grocery store will have to put it on the label of that package that this is reformed meat. So I would just hate the idea of me going to a restaurant and paying a premium price, for a quality steak, and then find out later that it was a meat glued steak. And I say that because, as you'll see in the video tomorrow, is when I was done cooking the steak, crusting the steak, it was nearly impossible to tell. And this was my first steak, so I was nowhere near as proficient as some of these restaurant guys, some of these butcher shop guys, or grocery store meat managers. So I was nowhere near as proficient as they are. This is my first time. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give myself a 5 in terms of the steak that I was able to create. But once that steak cooked, like I said, man, it was pretty difficult. Even when sliced, I could not see the seams from that chuck meat, that little chunks being pressed together. So just imagine those individuals who are doing this day in and day out, how good they've gotten at it. One of the things I read is be careful if you're a fan of things like tenderloins or filet mignon. You know, anything that is kind of tubular, anything that's kind of round, it is so easy to recreate using meat glue. So easy to recreate using meat glue. And man, it will fool a lot of people. Again, you would hate to be paying a premium price, all right, for scraps, because that's pretty much what the trimmings are. Thank you very much, Brian. Yeah, thank you very much, man. She just walked in. I don't even know if she's got her computer cranked up just yet. Yeah, mama's getting old, man. That is awesome, man. San Antonio is a nice city. And I'm sure you've got tourist attractions in your city or tongue or city, Brian. People that live here, I know for myself, man, I don't even bother with the Riverwalk. Only time I go to the Riverwalk is when maybe we have out of town visitors and they want to go see it, because I don't even bother with it. Been there and done that. But it's awesome for tourists, man. Yeah, awesome for tourists. All right, so Mama is online. Yeah. All right. All right, so Mama is here. So am I the only one in here that has used uh, meat glue? And like I said, this was yesterday. Am I the only one? You're gonna want to watch that video tomorrow. Pretty interesting. Let's see. Going through the chat. Lots of happy birthdays to Mama. I shouldn't even mention that. She don't need no more happy birthdays. All right, so I put that steak together yesterday, and I cooked it today. The package says at a minimum 4 hours, but from everything I read, it says overnight to 24 hours is even better. So I did an overnight. I think I went closer to 15 hours, and pretty cool. Mama says she tried the steak and it uh, looked at it and you cannot tell. Yeah, it is hard to tell. Now there's some issues when it comes, if you're anything like me and you like your steaks rare, medium rare. A lot of what I read says that it is not the safest thing to do medium rare with a meat glued steak. When we buy a regular steak, uh, the surface area is what we consider uh, contaminated, from processing. There's bacteria on that surface area. But inside that steak is pretty much uh, uh, there's no bacteria. It's pretty much sterile. If meat can be sterile, so the minute we slice that steak, we've then introduced bacteria to those two slices that we just created. So now, if you imagine taking a chuck roast and chopping it up into uh, half-inch pieces or 1-inch pieces, you've now multiplied the surface area by 100, and then you're gluing that back in. You're gluing that together. So what you've now done is to really create uh, a man a swimming pool of bacteria inside that steak. Very similar to ground beef. Very similar to ground beef. And I said I like my medium rare. Same thing when I eat a hamburger. Man, I love medium rare hamburgers. But because of all the surface area that ground beef has, man, there's bacteria inside it. That's why it's often suggested, to cook your hamburgers, your beef patties to well. Uh, Knock on wood, to this to date, I have never gotten sick from eating a medium rare. But looking at the steak, I didn't want to take any chances. So I figured out, I did some more reading, found that you could use your sous vide to sort of pasteurize the meat while still keeping it looking like medium rare. You know how sous vide works. And that's what I did. And man, it turned out a beautiful steak. Yeah, it turned out a beautiful steak. Burnt ends, that is the truth, man. You can have the best of everything. And if you don't execute, uh, it's not going to happen. I often tell, especially when in a class, I tell students, I mean, competition is about 40% preparation, 50% execution, and then there's about 10% luck. About 10% luck. But man, you've got to execute. Just because you've got the best meat does not mean diddly. Does not mean diddly. You might it might give you a head start, but if you're not executing, they're going to catch up and pass you. Very true. Brian, man, I really, really thought about using that meat glue. I really thought about using that meat glue, but it was in such a position and so deep that that's where my slices were coming from. That's where my slices for turning were coming from. If any of you watched that pastrami video I did with the Black Angus, the 1855, man, that cut, uh, you know, 2 inches deep, 3, 4 inches long, right there in the center of that brisket. Yes, it was a great candidate, but competitions, man, they're it's you just don't want to leave anything to chance. Yeah, you don't want to leave anything to chance. So I chose not to use that one. But man, I had all the intentions of using that for a competition, Brian. Very true, Rick. A lot of great barbecue chefs here in San Antonio, including yourself. Yeah, including yourself. Marcus, people are using it. I've heard of competition cooks using it to glue the skin back down on chicken after they scrape. Yeah, and I'm sure that works very well. I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never tasted anything, and, and I shouldn't say if you've never tasted, I should say if you've never knowingly tasted anything, because I guarantee you, you've eaten a ton of meat glue to date and not realize it. But that steak, when I took a couple of bites, I was man, I was just waiting for some sort of weird taste or weird texture. And man, there was nothing of the sort. There was nothing of the sort. You couldn't taste it, you couldn't smell it. It didn't affect texture. All it did was just clamp two pieces together, man. Pretty cool. Hey, easy, Stephen. Take it easy, baby. Just relax. Firewalker, I haven't heard of Q glue, but I guarantee it's probably the same thing. Just a different name for it. Yeah, I have never heard of Q glue, but I like that name. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, Yada May. Yada May, ladies in the house. How are you doing? Good to see you. How's the old man doing? Yada May, Alabama's finest. uh, yeah, Big D's. I can see that, man. A lot of teams use it to get that bite through skin. Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. Going through the chat, just trying to play catch up. What does Quint know about some Hennessy XO? I'm telling you, Quint, if you have not yet had this Remy Martin 1738, it's not an expensive bottle, uh, nor is it's not a cheap bottle, but it drinks like it's expensive. Yeah, it drinks like it's expensive. You ever get a hold of this? Let me know what you think. Here's to all you guys and gals. So last Thursday, man, opening day, NFL, my Rams are playing. And man, I was torn. I was torn. I wanted to stream, but uh my fandom got the best of me. I said, there's no way I'm gonna watch a taped version of opening day. And about three-quarters of the way through that game, I wish I had streamed because my Rams just seriously took a beat down. They got dominated by uh, arguably the Super Bowl, a Super Bowl contender. I'm telling you, Buffalo looked great. It's only one game. Buffalo looked great. We'll see how they perform in the coming weeks. But right now, they look tough. Any Buffalo fans out there? Who's cooking what this weekend? Trumpet, chicken, ribs, maybe some. Oh, yeah, man. I've got this awesome elote seasoning. I've only used it once and I love it. Uh, man, I need to do some. Man, thank you, Marcus. I appreciate it, baby. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Yeah, much appreciated. Folks, I am telling you, I don't know what it is about rotisserie cooking that causes things to cook so fast. Help me out. Help me out. I did beef back ribs. And for those of you who watched the video, uh, it was a challenge to get them to stay on that on the spit. Challenge to get them to stay on the spit. So and a number of you used the term MacGyver in the comments, which I thought was funny as hell. A number of you said I MacGyvered that cook, and I'm not gonna lie, I was making up every single inch of that cook as I went along. And off the top of my head, I said, man, this is gonna take 2.5 to 3 hours. And you know, there are times during a cook, you know, if I need something, I'll run to the store, I'll go do this, I'll go chill out. But I did not go very far from that Weber. And the reason I didn't go very far is because I just expected those that butcher twine to burn up and my ribs to fall. And neither happened. But when I checked the ribs at 1 hour, they had the color I thought they'd have at 3 hours or 2.5 hours. And you know, I cook 90% of my cooks, man, I cook by feel and by looks. I can visually take a gander at something, and I have an idea, okay, whether it's time to wrap or whether it's time to pull or whatever the case might be. And I felt those baby backs, not baby backs, those back ribs at 1 hour. And I was like, wow, this is not going to take but another half hour or so. And man, I was dead on. Now, the higher the temperature, if you don't notice, I've said this before, the higher your temperature, your cooking temperature, the higher your finished meat temperature will be. So if you're cooking a brisket at 325, that brisket could easily finish 212, 214. Now, if you're cooking a brisket at 225, low and slow, that brisket could finish at 198, 202. So again, the higher your cooking temperature, the higher your finish temperature. So when I check the ribs, I'm probing. I check first with my my calibrated pinky or my index finger, and they felt great. To just to verify, I used the thermopen. And man, probe like butter. And I just so happened to look at the readout, and they were pushing 210 to 212 in different areas. So again, that was a great example. My Weber does not have a a gauge, a thermometer, or a temperature gauge. So you just got to guesstimate. So man, I am guesstimating that those 22, I ended up with a total of 26 briquettes in each basket. I was probably pushing 425, 450 that entire cook. Probably 425, 450 that entire cook. And man, the flavor in those beef ribs, my goodness. You know, it remind me of Chamo Gauchos. That is the name of our local Brazilian steakhouse. And they pretty much cook their meats while it might not be on a rotisserie, but they cook in the same manner. And man, that same flavor. And I can see why they love to keep the seasoning simple, to just salt sometimes. You know, I did a little more than salt. I went black pepper along with some heat riles, garlic jalapeno. But man, that was one of the best tasting ribs, beef ribs I've had. I can see many more of those in our future. Let's see. El Barrio's in the house. How are you doing, buddy? El Barrio, it is a great possibility, man, because normally Mom and I are cooking San Antonio around that time. And the fact that San Antonio did not even hold an open registration this year because they had all their spaces filled by the Cash for Kids program, that left me in the dark along with a couple of hundred other cooks. So I can see Humble at the end of January, but Mom and I aren't pressed. Quint, I'm telling you, that Maggie, that Maggie is legit. That's why I use it so often. That Maggie is legit. And if you guys and gals out there have not gotten the bottle of Maggie yet, that Maggie Hugo, don't just get that Maggie Light. You want the Maggie Hugo. It's the flavor bomb, I'm telling you. It's the flavor bomb. Let's see. Yada May, that is pretty cool, man. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Tell the old man I said hi. I was gonna give him a call last weekend if Alabama had lost, but they pulled it out. uh, TM, you know the dilly, Willie. You know the dilly. El Barrio, well, good luck, baby. Make it happen, man. Good luck. Steelers. Steelers are one of those teams where uh, I've got no reason to root against them. Like, like I've got a reason to root against the Cowboys. Their fans are just obnoxious. So uh, it's not so much that I root against the Cowboys. I root against their fans. I just love kicking them, especially when they're down, because they talk so much trash. They talk so much trash. We all have the NFL schedule. I don't need to see on my news feed 800 times that the Cowboys are playing in an hour or that they scored a touchdown. Come on, we're all watching the same TV. So the Steelers, I've got no reason to root against. So they're all right with me, Chris. I'm a Ram fan till the day that I die. Hey, and again, this is another thing that you have to get in your toolbox if you haven't done so already. Walker's Wood jerk seasoning. Walker's Wood jerk seasoning. Matter of fact, right now I have got 15 pounds of chicken wings marinating in that Walker's Wood. 15 pounds for a 24-hour marinade in that Walker's Wood. And Quint, uh, here's a tip. When you're doing jerk, appearance is not an issue. If you're able to score your chicken thighs, poke them, and make sure when you season them with that Walker's Wood, man, that you get some deep down into that meat. Oh my goodness, you're gonna kill it. Yeah, you're gonna kill it. I did the same thing with 15 pounds of chicken wings. 15 pounds of chicken wings. Yes, sir. That's good stuff. uh, no, I think it's got to be meat to meat, sleeper. You can't stick metal. You can't stick metal to meat. Hey, did you find out if I was using the anybody with any rotisserie experience? Uh, does the counterweight sit outside the pit on the spit on the spit, or is it inside the pit? I had my counterweight inside the pit, and Sleeper brought up an interesting point. I don't know if he went and looked it up because I did not. Chris, I also want a Santa Maria, man. I also want a Santa Maria. There's so many different versions, but I it's something I would love to have on my deck. Dude, the rotisserie is legit. A couple of months ago I saw Jorge 805 do a porchetta, the log with the pork log with the skin on the outside. Well, I have still got a a quarter, or it might be a shoulder. Yeah, a shoulder of that little pig that I cut up 2 months ago. So my plan for that pig is to debone it and then rolling it into a porchetta and putting it on the rotisserie. So that's a video coming at some point. But man, I love that rotisserie. I've only done 2 videos, but I've done 4 cooks on it. Yeah, I've done 4 cooks on it. Nah, humble is always well attended, El Barrio. Yeah, and I think it's well attended because there aren't very many things, been very many cooks in that time of the year, and the fact that those individuals who did not get into San Antonio really wanted to cook, and a lot of them end up going to humble. Man, we appreciate you, Marcus. We appreciate you, buddy. Yes, Yada May, please do. Yeah, I think I agree, Marcus, that lower heat, man, really, really does something. Thank you very much, El Barrio. Thank you very much. Marcus says he's cooked 2.5 hour ribs at 300 and went to check them and they were done with no time to wrap. Dude, that is me with those beef ribs, because my plan was to spritz them after an hour and a half. I was going to spritz them with some of that TNT mop sauce. I did not have time to do anything. And what's great about rotisserie is that kind of self-based in action. Self-based in action. And the more the fat, I'm not gonna say fattier, but the more marbled the piece of meat, man, that you're putting on the rotisserie, the better it turns out because of that self-based in action. So you wouldn't want to put a very lean piece of meat on a rotisserie. It would not do very well. I can see it being very tough and dry. Well, man, yeah, you've got this, man. If you need any advice or suggestions that you think I might be able to help with, don't hesitate, El Barrio. Do not hesitate. All right, so Rick says that counterweight goes inside. Sleeper still saying it goes outside. I I I just did not see. I do not see any room for it outside, sleeper. So I don't think so, man. Yeah, I think it goes inside. But I will go and research. I will go and research. P Bone, guys and gals, this right here, this is my dog right here, man. And we don't talk as much as we should. But this is my road dog, man. My battle buddy, Fort Benning, old Sergeant Major Kenneth B. Petty Sr. Oh, we had some good times, dog. We had some good times. What's happening? I agree, bandits. I agree, man. CBA is a pretty good sanctioning body. Score sheets are pretty cool. You know, score sheets are what they are, man. Very often on those score sheets, you'll get judges that are contradicting each other. One will tell you it's too sweet, another will tell you it's too salty. One will tell you too much heat, another one will tell you perfect amount of heat. So those score sheets, you just gotta take them for what they are, and ultimately, you cannot let them uh, influence your cooking willy nilly. So you just can't take one and after each one you're adjusting. You know, if five judges are telling you it's too salty, guess what? It's probably too salty. If one is telling you it's too salty, two are telling you it's not, then you've got some fine tuning to do. But ultimately, unless all the judges are in agreement, you don't want to be making wholesale changes to what you're doing, especially if you've had some success. Sleeper, I will look this up because I guarantee you, well, I'm not going to guarantee you, but I'm 90% certain it goes on the inside. And especially that Weber model, I don't see where it would fit on the outside. There's no room for it outside. So it's got to be inside. Let's see. Oh, he did, didn't he? Well, congrats, P Bone. Congrats. Let's see, let's see. Barbacoa's in the house, man. October 15th, fall vendor party at Barbecue Outfitter, San Antonio. Come hang out. I can see that happening, Rick. I can see that happening. I know you'll get me a VIP pass. Yeah, I can see that happening. October 15th. Nah, there's some cool cats, man. Yeah, there's some cool cats, Barbacoa Bandits. But like everything else, you've got your one and two. P Bone, I don't know that you're watching, man. I will need to at least get a comment every 10th video to let me know that you're watching and enjoying. Uh, hey, guys and gals, I've been trying to teach this damn Kenneth B. Petty Sr. how to barbecue for about 30 years. I've given up. I think he's probably out got all gas grills right now. P Bone, did you ever get a Traeger? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Dude, dude, did we ever have some good times? uh, my oh my. So Sleeper says he put his between the handle and the shell. Yeah, that sounds a little screwy. I'm telling you, I will research. I will research and get back at you. Hey, that's kind of true, Darnell. Yeah, that's kind of true. They do have some attitudes, man. Man, somebody else had asked me about this barbacoa bandits. And man, I honestly have not given it much thought, man. You know, I really, really feel good about any type of legacy that I might leave behind. If a brother was to drop dead tomorrow, man, I think the people that I have helped, whether it might be from the classes, whether it might be from the back and forth in the text messages or messenger asking me for advice. Uh, I think people are going to remember me for that. Uh, but man, I haven't given it much thought. Uh, and I think I have reached that 10-year membership prerequisite. But if it happens, it happens, man. If it doesn't, you know, it's all good, baby. It is all good, man. But I appreciate the thought. I absolutely appreciate the thought. Man, Stephen, I didn't need you to tell me that. The counterweight goes on the outside, huh? Yeah, I will have to look that up. Yeah, yeah, I will have to look that up. I know, I know. I put mine on the inside, and it worked fairly well. It definitely, evened out the weight to a degree. Rick says the counterweight has to go as close to the protein as you can get it. Hey, that is my thinking. Yeah, that is my thinking, Rick. That is my thinking. And when I end this stream, I'm going to go look that up. Yeah, I'm going to go look that up. Look at Sleeper. He just had to repeat it. Yeah, he just. What's up, Johnny? Johnny Maggs is in the house. What's happening, buddy? Rick, it's gonna stay on the inside of my Weber, of my kettle, or my WSM. Yeah, or my WSM. I don't see room for it on the outside. So it might be a model type issue. Wow, that's 6-man team. That is a lot of members, man. That is a lot of members. I don't know how that worked out because I'm certain that there were a couple of party animals, a couple of you that were serious, a couple of you that just wanted to eat. Uh, Ultimately, uh, things will happen naturally, man, and people will fall off, and those who are serious will remain. Yeah, those who are serious will remain. Quint says the canker rotisserie is a lot easier to use the way he see it. Yeah, I can see that, but the only and I won't call it a drawback, but there are times when you're gonna want to cover that meat as it rotisserizes, and it doesn't have a cover. And the fact that canker, I guess you could build a fire pit to fit it. Because I watch Jorge trying to get that suckling pig on that cooked by that canker, And he struggled, man. Having to move the fire back and forth to try to get that even cook. So you would have to build something large enough. And there are going to be times when you might want to speed things up just a hair, and that's where a cover would come in. But man, to each his own. All right, Johnny, I'll be looking for it, man. And I want to say we spoke maybe a month ago about that event. I want to say that we did. If it's the same event. Uh, Sleeper is just all right, Sleeper. I got you, baby. Yeah. That is the truth, man. That is the truth, Darnell. Yeah, that is the truth. Dude, if you're out of competitions getting drunk, your chances are you're gonna donate. I know of very few cooks, man, that can party, 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 and then do well. I know of very few cooks. I do know of one for certain. That is yeah, sleeper. That is my thoughts. You know, if you had that if that canker had some sort of cover, some sort of lid, then yeah, it would really, really be pretty much a perfect cooking device because it would speed up the cook, uh, less fuel, but I keep waiting for Jorge to build or buy some sort of fire pit that can fit the entire length of that thing, as opposed to having to move his little Weber or whatever he's using side to side to try to even out the cook. Quinn says he can use two kettles side by side. Yes, he could. Yes, he could. That's an idea. That is an idea. Let's see. Yeah, I think we did, Johnny. But we'll refresh. Yeah, we'll refresh. Now I'm with you, Buzz. I have a good time at competitions, man. But there it's within reason. It's within reason. And I do not wake up hurting. Yeah, I do not wake up hurting. Now when I wake up, it's go time. It is go time. All righty. Yeah, 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 trumpet. All right, folks. We are right here, man, at an hour. I'm gonna go catch a little bit of this game. I want to thank you guys and gals as usual for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe, man. It's been a good one as usual. Uh, be on the lookout tomorrow morning for that meat glue steak experiment. I am anxious. I'm looking forward to hearing some of your thoughts as to how that thing turned up. All right. Ooh, Chargers getting the Chiefs, huh, Rick? All right, sweet. Yeah, sweet. No, for that canker, you definitely need one, Darnell. You need something rectangular. Yeah, for that rotisserie. So, folks, I want you guys to stay safe, man. Finish out your last day at work. Enjoy your weekend. And we will be right back here next Thursday. Looking forward to it. Take care of yourselves, love each other, and we'll see you when we see you. Roll Tide. Y'all have a good evening.